And yet we just go right back to give me what I want. My desires are good. So there are 3 levels of existence. And when we're speaking about, true hope is really giving up partial hope, relative hope. We live in the unknown. We live in the void. We live in the mystery. We live in spontaneity. We respond to the weather of the world appropriately, and let's see what's next. I think that is our most fertile state. Everything opens up inside when we live in the state of wonder. That's where the flow is. And by flow, I'm not talking about the woo-woo flow. It's like that current of the subtle, which is, we feel it's chi within us. But that's what the whole endocrine system is. That's the flow of the jin-ye in our bodies. So it's very real. It's not just ideal. So our bodies operate via 3 levels. And the 3 levels are yuan qi, yin qi, and wei qi. We all know that. And some is unconscious, some is conscious. Wei qi functions based on survival and fear. Keep me alive, keep me alive, keep me alive. Because it's on the exterior, it's how we look at the world versus me, other versus me. How am I going to get my needs against all of you? How is the environment getting in? And now Wei Qi evolves, just like the immune system evolves. It can't evolve when we're staying stuck and based on fear. It evolves through exposure, by the way. And if we live in a toxic world that's polluted with, first of all, our own thoughts, but second of all, environmental pathology, environmental toxins, the only way the species will evolve is through exposure, not through isolation. That's why the more people isolate, and okay, I used to have sensitivity to this and this and this, now I have sensitivity to that, and more and more and more and more, and we isolate, and okay, now I'm not only allergic to gluten and wheat and corn and pollen and ragweed and perfumes, and it's like more and more and more and more, because we're not allowing ourselves the exposure little by little by little, where we're bigger than the part that keeps us protected. And if Wei Qi is our ultimate priority, then the Qi flows along with that. It's like, okay, we'll live that out. We'll live out that fear. So it actually prevents access to deeper levels when we're stuck at the Wei Qi level. Then there's the Yin Qi. Now the Yin Qi is internal, and the Yin Qi is based less on survival of the individual, but this is the emotional internal environment where our desires and hopes live, where things feel good, the functioning of the hypothalamic pituitary ovarian axis, all of the flow of the internal hormones. So the Yin Qi is where our desires live, where I want what I want, and I'm going to use the Wei Qi to get it. The Yuan Qi, the deepest level, the Jing, the essence, belongs to the collective. Survival of the species, and it is not under conscious control. You cannot manipulate the Yuan Qi. Well, you can. You can manipulate the yuan qi actually, and that's what the controversy used to be in Li Shizhen's time about the using the 8 extras, because you do not manipulate somebody else's destiny. You do not get into manipulating their yuan qi. And really the purity of being able to use the 8 extras to tap into that Jing level is the one that does it must be empty, must live the Tao. And so, think of rousing up your fellow physicians, saying, what you all do is weak. And, the story is that his colleagues put him to death because he challenged the prevailing order. So to use the 8 extras to really be able to allow somebody to use the Jing is really a very sacred thing, where we do not do it in order to help somebody manifest their desires, whether they be babies or anything else, or a long life. So when I work with the 8 extras with somebody, it takes a lot of clearing. It's not like, okay, let me open up this point, let me, manipulate these points. That's a bastardization. So, but when we can clear everything and ourselves in the space that when we are rooted in Shen, and truly rooted in Shen, like we give all to the all, we stay out of it, and we invite our patients into that, and we actually extend them to it, and they feel it. That when that happens, we're in a state where they can't even access what it is that they want any longer. It becomes so strong. It's like they're just in this space where we're like, wow, this is the wonder of the universe coming through this. This is what I want more than anything. One of my teachers in the past has said, be careful of giving people what they want. Be careful of taking away their suffering. By taking away their suffering, you may take away their means for transformation. So the highest level is to be able to accompany them in their suffering because you have done it yourself. Now, you can't really do that with another unless you've done it with yourself. You don't get to say, okay, I won't go to the depths of my own negativity. I won't turn the light of Shen around and go into my own darkness and surrender to that. But I'm going to help you. It doesn't work that way. We have to have done it ourselves so that the gates open for another and we can walk with somebody to the edge of their own darkness so that the pure light within can shine. So let's talk about the power of intention. That was a joke. Just, if you just really focus on what you want, if you really focus on the baby, if you can see yourself pregnant, if you can really envision yourself as a mother, just see yourself as having that positive pregnancy test. See yourself pushing the buggy. See yourself holding your baby. See yourself nursing your baby. It feeds the cluttering of the mind. I want. This is how I'm going to get it. And, I made this slide. First of all, I got this slide. Of course, I steal them off of the internet. I have no idea who to give credit to because I just like them, I take them. But it's like it was this picture of the typical fertility patient. Just tell me what to do. Tell me who to go to. Tell me to just, okay, I've been to this doctor, and my FSH is 35, and my AMH is 0.4, and I have stage 2 endometriosis, and I've been through 15 IVFs, and they haven't worked, and okay, I'm coming to see you because somebody referred me to you, and it's like, that's what comes into our clinic. And we say, oh, honey, you don't need to worry about any of that. It's going to happen for you. It's going to happen. I know this. Just trust. Just think positively. And I tell the story of somebody who had gone through a lot of these mind-body-based programs for every IVF that she did. And, the power of positive thinking and the power of intention. And she and her husband were cheerleaders for positive outcomes. And boy, they mastered it. They were like the A+ students. They got 100 in the mind-body medicine and the power of intention for every one of their IVFs. It's like, it's going to work. It's going to work. I'm eating well, I'm thinking positively, I'm envisioning the lushness inside, I'm inviting a soul in, and so she had that down. There was not one bit of that needed adjustment. And in the course of our discussion, she was gearing up for another IVF. And, first we were talking about, kind of what's going on in your life, the real stuff, like, kind of fireside chat type thing. I said, so how are you doing with this upcoming cycle or something to that effect? And she said, I'm feeling really good about it. I've been working with you. I really feel like this is the one. And I started laughing. It's like, come on, get back, just show up. Because all of a sudden, she went into this place of positivity and intention. Her voice changed, everything about her. I could tell that she cramped up her heart and went into, I really feel good about it. Whereas just a moment prior to that question, she was like, she was real. And so she postured herself into positive thinking. This one, I really feel good about that. And I had to do a little poking to get her down. Come on, what's really going on? What's really going on? As you look at this upcoming cycle based on where you've been previously, what's real? And finally she said, you really want to know? And then I knew I was getting there. You really want to know? All right. And all of her fear and anger and frustration and guilt and torment and I'm never gonna, she was swearing like you wouldn't believe. The dam broke. It absolutely broke. And she was like, I hate every nurse I come across. Every time I see that doctor, it was like the animal came out. And afterwards, she was spent, she was empty, and she was like, what have I just done?